no rules.
Two lower scores.
There's one rule. Welcome back to the No Mulligans podcast here in the studio at Franklin Bridge. It's Scott and Jack, and we were just talking off camera, and there's a lot of episodes that we've done recently that have been like really good, deep, solid ones for people.
Very meaty. Like you could go back and listen to one, like make more notes.
Yeah, you could almost like do like a reflection on like your golf life, like in all the other ones we've done.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd switch it up a little bit, do an ode to like season 1 or 2.
We were
in the pro shop.
We were in the pro shop with the bridge behind us. You can find this one somewhere on YouTube.
This is an old one, but
this or that.
This or that. For those of you who are new to the No Mulligans podcast, or
that's a Gary V phase.
Yeah,
Gary V was the this or that.
That's so
right?
true. That's exactly right. So for this one,
good. Throwback.
While I explain the game, I want you to think about your first one. Okay.
Okay.
So for those of you who are new to this or that. On the No Mulligans podcast, it is quite literally that, this or that. So Scott will come up with two things in golf that normally are two polar opposite ends, and will ask me if I want this or that. So
I got my first one. This is going to be so good.
Perfect. So we're going to go through. This is going to be a fun one.
Now we both answer it though, right?
Sure.
Okay.
But we'll let the
you answer first.
I'll answer first. Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, this will be a good one for you guys to listen to on your commute or coming home, whatever it is. Super fun one. So here we go. Shoot.
All right. PGA Tour swing or LPGA Tour swing?
Oh, in what context?
If you just had to pick, if you could have one, and
right.
How far you hit it didn't matter.
Yeah.
Because that's whatever.
Yeah.
You would play for whatever the appropriate distance is.
Yeah, for sure. Listen, I am so tempted to go LPGA, and from a technique standpoint, absolutely. But from like me and just who I am and how I play the game, PGA Tour swing for sure.
Yeah,
and I'm thinking more of like a Koepka or a Scheffler or like a Rahm. Those are
I feel that. For me personally, I'm going LPGA.
I love some LPGA swing, man.
And I'm going to go the Corda sisters because they're tall and thin like I am.
Yeah.
And like there are things that they do in their golf swing that I wish I had that much control over.
Dude.
And so like obviously I'm way taller than them and the guys on the tour are way taller, but they're not as thin as I am on the tour.
Mm-hmm.
And so like in a lot of ways my body profile fits more of like the tall, thin, narrow.
A Nelly Corda.
Like they don't have the wide hips, right?
Uh-huh.
They're not standing out. They're like some of the other girls that are the Instagram models, right? Like, they're like, we're here to win. Like, that's what we do.
Dude, I love watching some Nelly Corda swings or some Charlie Hull swings. Like I follow Nelly Corda on Instagram just to get her down the line swing videos.
Dude, I don't know that I can hit it as good as they do with that type of motion, and it probably has to do with how tall I am.
Mm-hmm.
But like, gosh, there's some stuff in there that's really freaking good.
It is really good.
I also just like to be different, so LPGA was a nice pick.
I like
in
it.
that category.
Okay. I've got one that's kind of like a high level question, but you may or may not appreciate it. A high spin ball or a low spin ball? Kind of like going with like a Strixon Z-Star or Strixon Z-Star XV.
Well, some of that
Pro V1, Pro V1X.
Some of that depends on the swing profile.
Exactly.
You may have a high spin ball off the tee and a low spin. It may spin less around the green.
Right. Or if you can ramp up spin or dial it down too. Tiger talks a lot about taking spin off.
I'm going to go with too much spin, learn to dial it, because it forces so many things, learn to dial it back. And if you need it, it's there.
Yeah, I like the high spin balls too, because you can hit like those little like knockdown punchy shots and they roll out a little bit more.
Yep.
Those are fun. All
right. Golf specific training in the gym or gross strength?
Gross strength.
Size.
Gross strength and size. I think you can learn to apply it.
Yeah. Ooh, yeah. I think that's fair.
I think you're missing out on some gains if you go with just like the golf specific workouts.
Gosh, yeah. So I used to be in your camp, and the more I spent time around Thomas, I'm like, I won't say I've flipped. I'm gonna stay in the overall like most people's general strength levels are too low. So we need to go, general fitness levels got to come way up. And you can get a lot done there if you do it right.
Yep.
So I'm not opposed to like learning how to control the body in certain manners that match your sport. That's fine.
Here we go. I got one.
You got one?
Wait, is it?
Wait, who asked the question? Oh, I asked the question.
You asked the question. Yeah.
So it's your turn. You tell I'm tired. It's been a long 6 weeks.
No,
I can't even remember who asked the question, and I asked the question. Oh, it's so good.
Here we go.
Check your light just to be sure. Mine's good.
Oh yeah,
okay, good.
Would you rather play at Augusta? Oh, I can't use Augusta. Gosh. Well, I was gonna say Paynes Valley. Oh, Paynes Valley or Bandon Dunes?
Paynes Valley, because I don't know. I'm intrigued by the par 3 over water hole.
The Bass Pro Shop.
The 19th hole. I literally just want to play that one hole.
Dude,
I literally people go to these iconic places. Like, I'm not going because it's Tiger. Well, part of it I'm going because it's Tigers. Like, I've never been to a modern golf instructor or player, PGA Tour player's golf course. So, like, I want to go see what Tiger's made.
I want to go to Paynes just because I want to be like up in the Ozark and play like mountain golf. I think that would be so sick.
Yeah.
That's not like desert golf, out west. I think Paynes would be really cool. Plus, it's Payne Stewart, man.
Par 3 course, a decent par 3 course that's like designed to be a par 3 course.
Okay.
Not just like the cheap muni that somebody threw together.
Sure,
got 9 holes that like every green's just pushed up.
Yeah.
Like a nice par 3 course, or an iconic golf course that's not your Pebble Beach, not that level type golf course. Like a nice other course that's 8,000 yards.
Oh, 8,000 yarder for sure. And
really, okay.
I'll say this just because I'm not a huge fan of par 3 courses. Like, I think if you make a hole in one on a par 3 course, it doesn't count.
It's too many par 3s, right?
You get a shot at it.
Getting a groove, hitting.
You get a shot at it every time, right?
Yeah.
So I'm saying 8,000 yarder. And remember, we actually took that trip down to Alabama
8,000 yards.
And played the Fighting Joe down at the RTJ course in Alabama. But I will say, I played from the tips for like 2 or 3 holes that day or something. So I played 2 or 3 tip holes. It was impossible. Now, granted, I'm so much of a better player now, but that was hard, man.
I think I'm gonna take the nice par 3 course. And done well, like, they're a lot of fun. But I see your point. Like, I get your point. But I'm like, I've got a bad taste in my mouth with the RTJ golf courses. They just made it big. Like, that's cool, but like,
no, I see what you're saying.
There's way more to making a golf course than just making it longer. In fact, some of my favorite golf courses are actually short and landlocked. Like, that force you to think more, like they challenge your brain. That's the teacher in me, right? Like, I'm intrigued by the difficulty. It's like, okay, it's long, but a driver 3 wood on a par 5. Congrats. Like, that's just not. And to me, like, I finally know what it's like to be my seniors, my ladies. Like, that's not fun. Like, once in a while it's fun, but like, okay, I grew up in an area where all we have is an RTJ golf course. Like, this is kind of painful. And then you got multi-tiered greens. Like, I just don't think that's that interesting.
Fair enough. No, fair enough.
I do like the challenge of, like, can I do this? Give me on the right day. I mean,
all right. Blade or mallet, and why?
Ooh. I want to pick both. Look at me close off with that question. Isn't that funny how you're like, your brain will talk before
you do?
Before you will. a blade because you have to swing it well. You have to make a good motion. Even with more face balance stuff coming into the blade putter design and like there's more help there. They're so good. Like if you get a good blade putter, they're so good to look at. But I grew up with one, right? So like there weren't a lot of mallet putters. So like if you grew up in an era where there's a lot of mallet putters, you may not see the allure. Like you may not have the visual appeal that I have. But like I freaking love a blade putter to work on a motion. Hannah, who just won a state championship.
Okay.
We just fit her into a mallet. Scotty, that she putts very, very well. So I'm saying both, right? And I wanted her to probably eventually be in a mallet, but she couldn't be in a mallet when she was because I needed to train the motion. She won the state championship with an old ping blade. It's like it looks
the answer
terrible.
To one.
Oh yeah, it looks terrible, right? It's like, oh, that's ugly. That's an old that's a freaking dinosaur.
It's a grandfather's garage one.
Right. It's a dinosaur. It's 33 inches long. Like so it's super
tiny,
short, right?
Yeah.
I designed it for her to be able to learn how to release the toe of the putter. And some of the best putters in the world kind of let that toe go without flipping it. Like it's like tossing a cornhole bag. Like you let the bag go. Like you just let it go.
Yeah.
And I taught her to hook her putts. She doesn't actually hook them, but like the sensation.
It's the feeling, yeah.
But now she's in a mallet, but she won the state championship with the other.
Yeah, I like the mallets just because like, dude, like I don't know, if I'm looking down there at a blade, it almost looks like an iron, and I feel like I'm gonna like toe a shot or heel a shot.
Like, that's so good.
When I see like the two fangs,
I'm gonna shank it.
Yeah, like when I see the two fangs coming off of my mallet, I'm like, all right, there's a obvious middle to this.
It feels like, hey, I've got like a fighter jet that's like got it's like a stealth fighter.
Like you hit it here.
It's gonna like land.
Yeah.
Softly on the
green. That's exactly right. Yeah.
Instead of it feels like you're hitting one of these tricks on Matsuyama blades.
I know. If I wanted to putt with a 2-iron, I would.
You know what I need to do? I need to get an old Acushnet bullseye putter, which is just like basically like the ones you get at the frickin' putt courses, right?
Yeah.
But it's super, super soft metal. Like when you strike that perfectly, like all the stuff they put in insert stuff nowadays, like nothing feels as soft as one of those.
Yeah.
But I get the fear with them, putting them. I got a buddy who can refurbish one for us. But like, it's terrifying. How do people putt with this thing? Right?
Also, the sweet
I'm
spot.
gonna miss it.
The sweet spot is not in the middle.
No,
it's towards the hosel.
It's so small on those putters, and so they're severe toe hang. They hang straight the frick down, like.
Yeah, literally.
Like that toe is just at the ground. So like you have to release the toe.
Yeah. All right, you're up.
Simple one. Going to play a nice golf course, private club. Slacks or shorts?
Obviously, I will respect whatever the course.
Let's say the course allows either.
Shorts.
Okay.
Yeah. Shorts. I don't know, man. I mean, like, if the weather dictates I wear pants, of course I wear pants. But like, if it's like
weather's good,
if it's like 85 degrees or like 90 degrees in the summer, and I'm going to play a super nice course, I mean,
shorts.
They
allow them. And you wouldn't be the only one there.
Yeah, if they allow them, I'm wearing shorts. I am. Yeah. I can't. I don't know. I'm not going to burn up.
I'm slacks every time.
I know you are.
I will never be not slacks.
I know.
And when I go there, I have my shoes perfectly polished. All my clubs are perfectly clean. Everything, my bag's in order. Like, everything is like, I'm walking into a private club. Like,
I also feel like if I...
honor to be there, and I'm going to be the best looking chap that's there.
Yeah, fair enough. I also feel like if I saw you in shorts at a club like that, it would be like...
Scott has quit golf. He has retired. Did he lose his job? Like, what happened?
I don't know if I've ever
divorced.
I don't think I've ever seen you in shorts. So I feel like you just look like two toothpicks walking around.
It's like, does he have legs in there? I'm actually a bionic man. I have 2 prosthetics.
That's a good one. I like that. That was a good question.
Kind of off.
All right, I've got a good like equipment question here, but it's not like high level equipment. Wooden tees or plastic tees?
Oh, wooden all day long.
Yeah, me too.
There's a certain type of, I don't know what brand makes them. There's a certain type of plastic tee that you get at some of the private clubs. It's a very specific type of plastic tee all day long. I'll take that hands down.
Really?
Yes.
So like if you had access to any tee,
it's got 4 little
like the
indentations.
fang ones.
They're not sharp. They're dull. It's it's kind of like this, and then it's like a little gap, and then it's like this, right?
Now, I will say my only beef with the plastic tees, I feel like I would use plastic tees the majority of the time, but the plastic is never strong enough. That's why I always prefer the wood for some reason. Like the plastic, when I'm putting it in the ground, it'll like bend, or it'll just like, I don't like the fangs. Yeah. I just like the circle that just is on the circle. Give me just the circle on the top.
Oh, dude, I tried all the gimmicky tees when I was a kid. It was like, oh, we're going to try the brush tee. We have this tee that like leans forward, and it's like it gets wider at the top. It's got this like oblong thing on the top. You put your ball on it, leans forward, and adds 3 miles an hour to your ball speed. No, it doesn't. That's total garbage and like whatever. Like,
or the martini tees when those first came out.
I feel like the ball goes slower.
Yeah,
it's like I feel like the tee is like grabbing onto my ball and isn't going to let go of it.
Have you seen the one where it's like you angle it, you almost line it up like a putt, and it's like a runway for your golf ball?
Gosh, yes.
That was a good
question. This is a this or that, but there's 3 possible questions.
This, that, or the other one.
Right. Spikes like these.
Yeah.
No spikes like those.
Yeah.
Which are the little rubber,
little
like little just all rubber pegs. You can't replace the spikes.
Yeah.
Or metal spikes.
So I've never played metal spikes.
What size shoe do you wear?
In golf. 11.5, 12.
Ooh, we both can wear the same size shoe. We're going to get a pair.
Okay.
We're going to play 9 with it, and we're going to flip them.
So, okay. I've never played golf in metal spikes. I loved playing baseball in metal spikes. My favorite things ever. So I'm not opposed to it.
The sound on the ground when you're walking, like you just feel like you're ready to play. Like I'm ready to go to battle.
You know what's weird though is I never felt like that. Never felt like that.
Really?
I always felt like I was like a newborn deer on ice.
That's so good. That is not at all what I was expecting you to say. Oh, I thought you would love that sound.
No, because the other thing too is like when you're
kind of walking weird, right? You're like
when you played as much travel ball as I did, like you don't. Some of the places that you go and play, it's not like the pavement that you see outside at the bridge. Some of it is like that slick concrete that you could play like roller hockey on. And when you're wearing metal spikes, you could slip with those, and you like bust your butt on the ground.
I hear that.
So I always felt like I had to like keep my center of gravity like always upright.
That's fair. I'm going metal spikes all day, every day. If like I'd wear them here at the bridge if I wouldn't get made fun of.
I think that I would.
I wouldn't wear them on the golf course because just to respect Adam, but like I'd wear them as my day-to-day shoes.
I feel like I would. I feel like I might like twist an ankle wearing.
I need to get Wilkerson to get us a pair because you can't get them.
Yeah, you can't buy them anywhere.
You can scour the internet, and I found some twist-in ones that are out of Europe on eBay.
Who like if a tour pro wants them, they can request them from like.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think more than half the players have
really
metal spikes. Yeah.
And do you think it matters?
You'll hear it when they walk across the cart path. They don't walk across very many cart paths when they play.
True, but like, can you? Is it crucial for somebody who has that much swing speed?
When you got that kind of torque going through your feet, the ability to, like, we look up there with the arms and hands and hips and legs.
Yeah.
That added stability down here at the bottom is unheard of. Like, these shoes, this is a pretty firm bottom.
Yeah.
Like, those are way more loose than these are.
Yeah.
But, like, I still think golf shoes need to be, like, wearing a frickin' pair of wooden shoes.
Interesting. Huh.
I've used metal spike shoes as a training aids for people, but like when you find a metal spike shoe, they're usually old shoes.
Yeah.
And so they're not very good shoes. And so like the shoe glue like after a number of swings with them, like it just rips out because it's basically dry rotted underneath.
You know what's interesting about this, the shoe debacle that we're having here is, for me, I care much less about the spike so long as I don't like twist out of them. I care more about how close my actual feet are to the ground. Like, I'll never wear like one of those Nike that look like Nike running shoes.
That's why I don't like these today. Like I feel like I'm like
I
feel like I got a lift kit in my feet.
Yes, and like when I feel like I'm hitting a shot, I want to feel like my feet are on the ground. It's like we always tell the story about how we went and played barefoot one day, and like when you feel connected to the ground, I just feel like my swing is so much better because I can not only feel, the terrain that's under me, whether I'm hitting below my feet, above my feet, up, down. I can feel like when I'm standing on the green, I don't feel like I'm on stilts walking on the green, right? So. Yeah,
and I freaking love the sound, dude. Like
the metal ones.
Like when you walk off that putting green, like as soon as I hear that click, we've talked about body language, dude. I switch into that, like boom, like I'm tall, right? Like everybody's looking at me. I'm gonna march to that freaking tee, like I'm the best player here.
Yeah,
right. So like from a mindset standpoint, it switches a lot.
For me. Interesting. You're saying if you're wearing them.
If I'm wearing them, when I step off of that putting green and I step onto that, like I want you to hear me take that first step.
Gotcha.
I want you to hear that click, click, and there's gonna be a rhythm to my step, right?
Like that, yeah.
I know it sounds weird, but like there's a different sensation when you're at a tour event and like you're around them and you hear that click, your head immediately spins. Like, who's there, right? You know it's a really good player.
All right, I got one here. If you are, I've got a caveat to my answer on this one, but if you're in a cart, driver or passenger?
Driver every time.
Yeah. Really?
Oh yeah, no chance. I am not riding.
So I would agree with you in 99% of cases. The only exception would be if I'm playing with a buddy who is just as good as me and who knows the course just as well as me.
I am controlling where we go all the time. I am in control. You will sit in my cart. I will drive it. And if I don't want to drive, I will hop out and I will walk up and you will drive it.
Yeah, I don't have
I'm in charge.
Yeah, okay, I can see that. I mean, I think I do. I think I drive every time for the same reason. But I don't want like somebody who's like, "Where'd you hit the ball?" And I'm like, "Dude, I saw both of our shots. I will drive to the both of them."
Yeah, I don't know the last time I rode as a passenger.
Yeah, I like doing it on occasion.
If I'm going for like just a total casual round and I'm with like 3 people that I really love spending time with,
yeah,
then I'd probably be okay with it. But if we're gonna compete and we're gonna have something going at each other, I'm driving.
Okay, yeah, fair enough.
So you and I are not driving the same cart. If we're both driving, I'm walking and you're driving the cart. Like I will walk before I ride as a passenger.
That's good.
And I'll carry my staff bag just to like. But that's, I mean, getting back to the juniors a little bit, like that's the type of language that like I want you to have. Like, just out here to practice. Do you have a purpose? Like if you're just casual, that's fine. Just don't come take golf lessons. If you don't really care, then whatever. All right. Is it my turn?
Yeah, last one here.
Last one? These are fun. I want to keep doing them. If you could play out of the country, where would you play?
Oh, you got to give me a this or that. You got to give me 2.
Crap.
You got to give me 2 or 3.
Crap.
I'll take 2, 3, or
change my question then.
No. I like it. You just got to choose 2, 3, or 4 locations.
Scotland or Dubai?
No, Dubai, hands down, every time. I have, contrary to like a popular belief, I have no desire to play in Scotland. I know it's like the birthplace of golf.
I thought that would be a challenging one for you to have to think about. That was not at all. You're like, Dubai. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of those like DP World Tour events and like those courses, and I just think they're sick. Plus, like seeing the Burj Khalifa like in the back, like the the tallest building in the world, like in the background, like while you're playing like around. And those, the Saudis are going to have those courses pristine all the time. Yeah. I'm just like, no, that would be so much fun.
And I think this has to do a little bit with like I bet if I had enough like baseball knowledge and we did this or that with baseball, I bet my answers would probably be more modern like this. Yours would probably be more historical based.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Because like for me, I want to go to Scotland. I want it to suck. I want it to rain. I want it to be blowing sideways. I want every hole to be twisted sideways, and like there's no tee markers. You find the open piece of land between the tall grass. Like,
yeah, I mean, like, don't get me wrong.
That's the nostalgia of like growing up in the sport.
Yeah, I mean, like, listen, if you, me, and Elijah, and like you and Elijah came to me and were like, hey, like we're planning this trip to Scotland. Like, do you want to come, dude? Of course,
if we gave you the option, if you Scotland or Dubai,
I'm like, I'd rather go to Dubai, but if you guys want to go to Scotland, I'll tag along.
I'll tag along. Yeah. I hear that. How much time are we on this one?
Like almost 25 minutes ish.
Oh, let's do another one or two.
All right.
It's your turn. I gotta start thinking of questions.
All right, here we go. 58, 54, and 50 degree wedges, or a 60, 56, and 52.
I have the second of those. That's my set.
Do you prefer it, and why?
I don't use a 60. I wouldn't use a 58. I use it for a very special shot out of the bunker. That's it. Like, I literally don't use it for anything else. I can hit any shot I want. But the 54-50 combo, I thought you were actually going to go with like pick one wedge out of the three.
I like that better. Take it that way, because I feel like it's very up for debate the other way around.
I would take a 50-degree wedge all day long. I can hit every shot in the book with that club.
Yeah, no, I'm doing a low bounce 54 degree.
Yeah, that's it. That would be a good second choice.
Yeah.
That's what I would go with.
Yeah, low bounce 54. I'd use that. I could use that for everything and be so happy.
In order to make your game better, video or no video?
No video.
For the rest, like if you had to, for the rest of your golfing career, if you couldn't have, like you had to pick one.
If I had you, yeah, no video. Well, and I'll say
you don't have me for a long time.
Yeah, I know. And I'll say you this much. I'll tell you this much. Like the reason I picked that is because I deal almost exclusively in feelings. So if you show me something, on video, and you're like, this is where you were at, and this is where you need to be, like it'd be a good reference point. But you could also be like, you want to feel this, and if that accomplishes the same thing, I'd much rather do the feeling than the video.
If you asked me this question 5 years ago, 6 years ago, it would have been video. If you asked me this basically since I've been here, other than the last 6 months, I would say no video. So right now I'm in a transition. That's why that question's hard for me to answer. I'm also trying not to think of it in terms of like what I would have for my students, because I use both. I don't think I can pick one there. But for me personally, for my golf swing, I think I need video at least for a while. I'm going to need it for quite a while because of how nuanced of where I'm at. My feels aren't, like, especially as I practice, they aren't good enough for me to be able to catch it.
Fair enough.
They might be sharp enough after training on it for 2 years to be able to catch it, but they're not sharp enough now.
Fair enough. Okay, I've got one that's going to be a layup for, I think, you and me, but I see it all the time on the golf course, and I'm just like, I don't understand. Like a 15-way divider bag or like a 4-way divider bag?
Ooh, I like the old 4 or 3-way even. Like, the clubs clang together. They're supposed to clang together. Like, that's just, the 15-way divider. I'm like, you're not very good at golf. Like, I'm sorry. Remember when I did the big like bracket challenge?
Yeah, of like the
2021.
The things you get like. What was it
people,
like? You can tell you're bad when
you're bad at golf when we had people vote on Instagram.
So what were those? Since it's a fun one, it was like the trifold towels.
Yeah, the trifold towel, right? That somebody buys you that you never buy yourself.
Yeah,
right? I've got one on here. Like somebody got me a Strixon towel. It's
I cannot do the trifle. I just want one big towel that I can put on my bag.
Right, like these, like the big ones.
I literally, it's like a
trifold towel. You had they wore golf sandals was one.
Golf sandals.
Like those were a thing.
Wasn't it like the
you had
martini
head
tea
covers.
or something like that?
You had
type of tea.
You had brings their golf clubs into the golf shop.
Oh yeah, the iron covers too.
Iron covers.
Yeah, and I love the
iron covers.
Bring your clubs into the
uses
shop.
range balls on the golf course. We had things people say like, I just never play this bad. Like,
yeah,
that's the classic. So we have brackets of like things people say, things people do, things people wear, things people buy. Right? You know, the guy that's got the new driver every year. It's like, nah, that ain't it, bro.
Yeah,
like, it's got the newest equipment. Like, no, probably not it. You know. No, that was a fun.
I've got
challenge.
Just a weird. Do you have a weird question? It's not a this or that.
So you're not a 15-way divider.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah,
no.
Okay.
Dude, I love 4. I love 4. Yeah, I love 3 or 4. I've got this is not a this or that, but this is an interesting question. Is there anything in golf that you just have like a superstition about that like? Here you go. I'll give you mine.
No, you don't even have to finish. You don't even have to finish it. I have the superstition.
Well, let me say mine first because mine will not be as good as yours. I do not play. I do not like playing golf balls that have the number 3 on them.
That's so good. All right, so here's mine. And a buddy of mine ruined this for me all the time. He was born on Halloween. If I gotta send him this episode when it comes out. His name's Corey Fortner. And I don't know what he's doing now. We stay in touch. We send each other stuff once in a while. And we say, I ain't afraid of no ghosts, like from Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
And there was one time at Timberline Golf Club, I'm teeing up on a par 5. It was the 8th hole. Teeing up on a par 5, and I just grabbed one of the tees that was there and tee it up. And he's like, you know about tee history, right? I was like, no. He's like, you don't know the history of that tee. Does that hit good shots or bad shots? I have never hit a ball good. So I'll do it on par 3s, but I won't do it on full shots. So it doesn't bother me. Like, tee history on par 3s, guy clipped the tee, we good. So like, I've got this weird thing in my head now. He put it in there that day. Has been in my head ever since. I will not play with another tee.
Wait, you only play with one? Wait, say that again.
I'll play with a tee that's out of my bag. I will not play with a tee hitting a full shot or with a long club fairway wood hybrid driver. I will not use a tee that's on the tee and like just grab one that's left.
Oh, you're saying like you won't use a tee that you just find on the tee box.
No, I can't do it. I can't do it anymore. I used it on the 8th hole at Timberline Golf Club.
That's funny.
Like circa 2014. We're almost 10 years removed from that. I can't do it.
That's so weird. I'll
take it out of your bag. I'll take it out of somebody I'm playing with's bag. But I will not. I can't do it.
I feel like I'm superstitious about a lot. Like that is not one that I feel like I'm superstitious about.
The fact that I'm bringing it up on the podcast because like I've thought about making that joke to people. I was like, nah, I don't want. I'll ruin them forever. So like, oh man. So yeah, that's a good one. I will not.
That's a good one. Oh my, that's wild. All right. One more each for us here.
You said superstition, right? So,
yeah.
I'll let you take the last question.
Well, one more for both of us here.
Right. Let me think.
I've got mine off the rip. Well,
this isn't a this or that question.
Okay.
If this was the last foursome the last time you could ever play, who's in your foursome?
Oh man, dead or alive?
Has to be somebody that you know or have known. They could be dead or alive.
Oh, but I can't choose like a celebrity either. I have to have known them.
You have to have known them. No, you could choose Bobby Bones, right? Like you could choose somebody that you've met.
Yeah.
At least once. Like if you shake it, if you've shook their hand, you can do it. I'll give you that. I'll let it go that far. Because we've all kids like run around some professional athletes.
While I think about this a little bit, do you have people that would be in yours?
I don't have my complete foursome. You're in it, by the way.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, BMI. That's 2.
I'd say if your swing was at a place where you'd want it to be, you would be.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
No.
You would absolutely be in mine.
You'd be in that one.
I would honestly say, I think this has taken up 2 of my spots here, but I think you and Elijah would be in there.
Wow.
I love playing golf with Elijah, man. He is one of the best people to play golf with.
I would take somebody that means a lot to me,
Mm-hmm.
somebody that I want to teach,
Mm-hmm.
and somebody that I just enjoy spending time with. I might take 2 people that I want to help. Like, this is the last time I'm ever going to play.
Oh, so I see how you're taking it, and that's perfect for you and what you do.
Right, that makes sense for me.
Totally makes sense for you. I don't know if I can answer that right now, honestly. I'm gonna have to think about that. Well, I'll mention it on the next podcast. Ooh, I'll think about it.
I honestly think I don't, because like I could go like you, like Micah, Austin, Elijah.
Yeah.
I want to teach all of them something.
Yeah.
And I enjoy spending time with all of them.
And they're all at like varying skill levels too.
Right.
Yeah.
But I can also go like
in different builds, different swings.
I can take, that would be those 3 guys. I could also go you, like Elijah, Erica.
Yeah.
Because like I have so much I want to just give to them and be like, you got to play your. I enjoyed spending my last.
Throwing it back to the last podcast, you got to be intentional about what kind of round you want to play that day.
What kind of round do you want to have?
Yeah.
But like that makes me think like what matters most to me.
Yeah.
Which then makes me sad of like I could also go the route of like me, you, and then like Rebecca and Daniel and Gracie, right? Like,
right. Yeah.
Like that's the like easy out answer.
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know. I'm gonna come back to that. Like I will have an answer on that.
All right, I got it.
I've left my dad. I grew up playing with my dad.
Right. Yeah.
I might grab my dad and his 2 brothers.
I think it's also hard for me too because I've only been playing for like almost 4 years now, so it's like I haven't played golf.
I wouldn't want to play Did I say final foursome?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it'd be your final group. If you want to play with 12 people, play with 12.
Yeah, fair enough. All right, here's my last question here. It's not a this or that. It's a fun question like you had. But if you could only play with one set of golf clubs your entire life, build your bag.
Ping I2's green dot.
Oh, they don't. I mean, they can be brand specific. But I'm just kind of saying, like, are you going to choose hybrids? Are you going to go irons? Or are you going to do this?
I'm going to go
I do love the green dot, though.
I'm going to go with a classic ping putter. I've got to find the right head makeup. It can't be severe toe hang. It has to be pretty close to face balanced. Maybe slight toe hang. I'm going to go with a ping putter with kind of a grip that's similar to the one that I have. I'm going to go these Cleveland RTX 6 wedges, like just the way I have them built right now with the steel fiber shafts in them.
Money.
I'm going to go with and I think I'm going to go with a putter that's a forearm lock. It's going to be like 37.
Yeah, because you also have to future-proof your bag too, so right. The arm lock is good.
Like if I get old and I can't move as well. Like
yeah.
Then I'm going to go pitch through. I get my motion where I'm going. I'm going to go pitch through 5 iron.
Good choice.
Maybe 4 iron with the Ping I2s.
Mm-hmm.
Old classic. Have them brand new, right out of the, like, I'm stuck with these. Then I'm going to go with the Epic Flash fairway woods.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with my Triple X Flex 2 iron.
Yeah.
Training. But it also like I can also just hit it like a low. If I need a ball in the fairway, it's a low bullet.
Yeah, that thing is nuts.
I don't have it. I have somebody borrowing it.
For as much as you love that club, you give it away a lot.
I really want to train. And then I'm going to go with the Epic Flash Woods. I'm going to go with a driver that's 43.5 inches. It's basically a 3 wood.
Dang,
with 10.5 degrees of loft with the even flow. I think it's even flow blue. It's an older model.
The shaft. Yeah.
Yep. Ken Alexandra, who's on the podcast, has those in his club.
Yeah.
It is, to me, hands down, the best driver that I've ever hit.
Wow.
Epic Flash, not the like fade bias one, the like neutral.
Yeah. You love neutral setups.
That's my bag.
I love it.
My bag right now is nowhere close to that bag.
Fair enough.
Which is like, wait a second. When I get fit by Wilkerson in the spring, I need to get fit for
the future. Is that what you mean?
I need to get fit to the motion that I'm making. It probably needs to be something similar to that.
Absolutely. The only thing that I would change from mine, I love my mallet putter. I love my 58 low. I would change to a 54 low for my wedge, and then I would go 50 mid bounce. And then I would do pitching wedge through 5 iron. The ZX7s that I have in my bag, I love those. And then I would go 5 wood. I'd go some sort of some sort of hybrid, rescue hybrid, 5 wood, mini driver.
Ooh. Well, basically, my driver is basically a mini driver.
Okay, I would go with that new TaylorMade mini driver one, and
so
then
freaking good.
But dude. I don't really like hitting my 3 wood. I would go mini driver and 5 wood if I had to do anything.
I would drop. I think I would go away from the lofted fairways. I think I'd go driver, 3 wood, and then hybrids, and then down.
Love it.
So I've learned that. Ball.
Either. Oh man, I actually played a lot of my early golf, not like when I sucked, when I actually started getting good enough to like buy nicer balls. I loved playing that TP5X for a while, and then I started playing the Pro V1X for a bit. But then the Strixon Diamonds, those are insane.
I'm gonna go. This is gonna be out there. You ready for this?
You're gonna choose some old ball.
Well, so I had 2 thoughts. I'm either going the Tour Professional 90 Titleist from way back, super soft compression.
Okay.
But I mean, it feels like you're hitting a freaking like bouncy ball, like super soft. Or I'm going with the Chrome Soft X without all the extra lines on them.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough.
One big solid black line drawn on by hand.
That's a good one. That was going to be one of my this or that's. Is markup golf balls or don't. Mine's not. I wouldn't if I had to. I don't.
Yeah, that was fun.
That was a good one. That was a real good one. That was a good fun one. And we did that for a while too. 42 minutes. Dang, that was a good one.
That was cool.
That was a good one.
It didn't feel like 42 minutes. It felt like maybe 20.
It didn't. But that's good. So let's sign off. And we said it was going to be a nice short one for the car ride home, but they might have had to break it up into 2.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks guys so much for listening to this episode of the No Mulligans podcast. Really hope you guys enjoyed. And I'm not even going to say anything. You guys know what to do. Subscribe, follow, 5 stars. Helps everybody out. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.
There's one rule!